We are from Mount Zion. It's an old cemetery.
That's why I took, I got both.
We are on top of Mount Zion.
Zion relates to the whole city of Jerusalem. With the years, this hill, which is part of Jerusalem, got the name Mount Zion as the mountain itself. We have here Mount Zion, we have Mount Moriah down there, but when it talks about the city, Zion, it talks about Jerusalem, not necessarily this hill.
בבית של הרב שלמה? איפה אתה ישן?
Hi.
איפה ישנת? אני ישנתי אותה איפה? הורידו אותי ככה?
To the upper room now. This is the room of the Last Supper. The upper room of the Last Supper.
Hundreds of thousands during the feast, and they search for a place, and I would say half tradition and half historical evidence show us that this was the location, okay, in Mount Zion, where the disciples found the upper room, and later on they were eating here their Passover meal, what we call the Last Supper, but it's the Passover meal. And later on in the book of Acts, it talks about the disciples after they were at the Mount of Olives and Jesus was ascended back to heaven, they were walking back to the place that he says that they used to gather. Okay, so some believe that it's the same place where they had their meal, the last meal, they were now also gathering there. And then in chapter 2, in the book of Acts, it talks about the Holy Spirit coming on them in the same place. South towards Saudi Arabia, of course, you know, in every mosque they have this mikvah, they pray Mecca, and this is what when they were in 67, they said it's now open for everyone. What you are
This is the upper room.
Into the old city of Jerusalem, and later on in the 67, as we said, they broke through the Lion's Gate and also through Zion's Gate. Okay?
Some bullet holes.
So the Jordanians were inside, the Israeli forces were outside. Oh. You got the whole world. Careful from the car, there is a car coming.
Oh, it's actually a road. Oh.
Near the road, yeah.
Oh, another one.
After that, we'll adjust that another here.
Yeah, Zion Gate. We just came out from the other entrance on Zion Gate. We just come up from Zion Gate. We are now going into the Jewish quarter. Look at all the food, the sweet.
You want coffee break?
Yes.
15 minutes. Same way, every time, the same structure. I would say in a way it's the same like when the Americans, you know, they go somewhere around the world and they build their military bases. It's always the same concept. It doesn't matter if it's here in the Middle East or if it's in South America. The same buildings, the same order. The same thing was with the Romans. They were very strong empire, big empire, very organized. And when they build a new modern city for them, back then, they would always build the Cardo, the main street that crosses the city from the north to the south, and also the Comanos, which is a different street going from east to west. Okay? Over here, remember Jerusalem? The Jerusalem under Herod was destroyed in 70 AD, the Great Revolt. If we're standing on one side of the street, imagine that back then, of course we would be standing down there, not up here, 2,000 years ago. People, there are shops from both sides of the street. The sides there are covered with roof there and roof here, and shops are down below. It's the main street, and then the donkeys walk here in the center, horses, chariots, carrots, whatever, and people can walk in the sides, you know, protected both from the sun and from the rain. So it's a very convenient street. Some parts are original, some are not, of course. Yes. The columns, most of them were, I would say all of them were laid down and put them back instead. But you can see the picture how it would look like 2,000 years ago. Okay?
Fantastic.
Very gay, huh?
Very nice.
Yeah, very
well done.
Can you take that one there?
Yes, wait a minute.
Yeah,
This is what it looked like in the olden time.
The moment they took over and entered the Jewish quarter, they destroyed the Jewish quarter and took out all the Jews from the old city of Jerusalem. The Jordanians didn't allow Jews to live in Jerusalem when they took over. Okay, and it's important to understand that. Now, until 67, there is no Jews anymore. Not in the old city, and not, I would say, in East, what we call East Jerusalem or in the West Bank. And then, in 67, when Israel take over again, the Jewish quarter is basically destroyed. And they want to rebuild the quarter again. So they say, you know what, it's a good chance now, because everything is destroyed, let's first dig and see what we can find that used to be here a long time ago, otherwise we cannot do it anymore. So they start to dig this whole area, and they found this wall, okay? Now what is this wall? This is the city of David, okay? This is the Temple Mount, Mount Moriah. Now, at the time of King Hezekiah, which is the 8th century BC, okay, King Hezekiah had another wall, you see that? Surrounding Mount Zion. This is Mount Zion. Today, we were entering through Zion's gate over here, you see that? This is where we were entering into Jerusalem today. In the time of King Hezekiah, all this mountain was surrounded by wall. Now, why did Hezekiah had to add it? Because remember, at the same time, the Assyrians are coming to the north. And first of all, they destroy the kingdom of Israel. You remember that? In 733, they are coming, destroying the 10 tribes. And then 10 years later, they return again and completely destroy the 10 tribes. There is no more the kingdom of Israel. And they are on their way also to Jerusalem. And King Hezekiah knows that the Assyrians are coming to Judea and to Jerusalem. And probably there are thousands of refugees that are coming from the northern tribes. All of them are fleeing to Jerusalem. And he needs to build that wall, okay, to make the city much bigger, because the city is quite small one, as you can see, together with the Temple Mount. Now, it mentioned in the Bible, okay, it talks in the Bible that Hezekiah had to build this wall, which he does. He does build a wall, and he does dig the tunnel, you know, for the Gihon spring. When we talk about the Gihon spring, you see this is the spring over here. In the side, this is the wall surrounding the city of David, and the spring itself was outside. And he digs a tunnel under the city of David, You see that? And he brings the water into a pool, the pool of Siloam, which is now inside the city walls. And then he blocks the entrance to the spring, covered the whole thing with dirt. So when the enemy, the Assyrians, are coming to Jerusalem, and they do come, they are surrounding the city of Jerusalem when Hezekiah is here with the people and the prophet Jeremiah. So they don't know where is the water. And if they would know where the spring is, of course they would attack first of all that area, and people without water cannot survive. So the whole thing is blocked, is covered, and the water are now here in that pool, inside the city, protected with walls. Okay, the Assyrians do destroy big parts of Judea. We know the city called Lachish. They are putting a siege on that city and they destroy that. And then they are coming, they are surrounding Jerusalem, okay? And what's happening, you remember? The angel of God is coming and he kills 180,000 soldiers, Assyrian soldiers.
Yep.
And then, the next morning, the people of Jerusalem are waking up and they see that basically the Assyrian army is not there anymore. And the rest of them go back to Assyria, okay, the rest of the army. And when they go back there, of course, they didn't win the war, right? But they had to write something. So they wrote down, okay, we were able now to put King Hezekiah in a golden cage in Jerusalem. It means we didn't win, we didn't took over, but he's there locked in his golden cage. He can't get out back then in the war. And these inscriptions talking about the whole event were found in Assyria, okay? So you find the story over there written, curved in a small stone. The whole, of course. And over here we do find, walls. You see the wall here down below us that was built 2,700 years ago. It was built. You can see how high it used to be. You see up here the letter 8. You see that? This is how high the wall would be from down below there. You can see, it's a little bit hard, but if you would look down there to the right side of the wall, you will see the wall is crossing over people's buildings, houses. It can only show you in what a hurry, in rush they had in order to build that wall. It means there is no time now to start to plan how the wall would go between buildings and, nice, landscape. No, the Assyrians are coming. We must build now a wall, and we're going to build a wall even on people's houses just to protect ourselves. And you can really see the buildings down below you. Over there to the right, the wall is going over their houses, okay? So this is very interesting, very nice, okay? Long before Nehemiah.
Very interesting.
But you're first,
I'm a Jew. Are you from or
No, I'm from Melbourne.
Yeah,
So are you Chinese by descent?
I'm Chinese.
Chinese Jew.
Singapore, yeah.
Chinese Jew. Okay.
Chinese was-
Can I take a photo with you?
Sure, of course.
Okay, from Singapore.
From Singapore, yeah.
So have you done your national service?
Yes, I have done it. Yeah, quite some time ago.
I see. I see. So you're learning Torah really hard?
Yeah, in Ortimimi in Kafrokhabad.
I see. So what made you do that?
What made you? I want to learn the Torah, and
So because of family, is it Jewish?
my family is not Jewish. I'm Chinese by descent.
I see.
And I I converted, and I wanted to learn.
Wow, I see.
That's why I don't. Thank God. Oh, sorry. My friends are waiting for me.
Okay, no worries.
Nice
See you later. Nice
meet-
meeting you, Marcus.
meeting you.
God
Yeah.
bless you.
God bless.
This is the synagogue.